Could you please explain about the Russia sanctions bill? Howard Lutnick's admission, not admission, claim. Howard Lutnick's claim that the trade deal between the US and India is not happening because Prime Minister Modi has not called Mr. Trump. Trump is releasing hats of making India of making Iran great again, is threatening Khamenei. Moreover, he has demanded Greenland, which could very well make NATO obsolete. My question is, what exactly is Donald J. Trump trying to achieve by creating chaos across the world and destroying the world order they themselves created? Look, Donald J. Trump is just doing what he is supposed to do. See, the president of the US is not the final decision maker of what happens in the US. Okay, he is not the ultimate power in the United States. The power lies somewhere else. President just does what he is supposed to do. And there have been presidents in the past who have refused to do what the real power wants. And then you have situations like 1963. So DJT, look, Donald J. Trump wants to be remembered as the greatest, biggest, baddest, greatest president in American history since Abraham Lincoln or since George Washington, or maybe the greatest ever. I'm the best president ever, right? That sort of thing. So he's happy to have the full might of the US establishment behind him. When he was president from 2016 to 2020, he was essentially just a lame duck president. The establishment was against him. But this time, he has kissed the ring, and the entire might of the establishment is behind him. And he's carrying out their agenda, right? Is he creating chaos across the world and destroying the world order? The question you have to ask yourselves, my dear friends, is this world order that the Americans created post 1945, it served US interests. It allowed the US to expand its military footprint across the world, to expand its power projection capabilities across the world. And they created this rules-based world, allegedly rules-based world order, etc. But by the late 20th century, early 21st century, who did this world order serve more? It served the Chinese. The Chinese learned, they understood how to use the system for their own benefit, right? It served the Chinese. And now you have the specter of multipolarity coming up. The Americans don't want multipolarity. They talk about G2. They want a G1. They want to be the sole hegemon across the world, all around the world. They're not creating chaos. They're reorganizing the system in a way that suits them better now. Okay? So they want to be the one stable, powerful, rich, magnificently rich, lavishly rich country in the world. And all other nations have to be supplicants, minions, vassals. That's what the Americans want. And to make this happen, you have to do surgery on the world order, right? Surgery you have to do on the world order. That's what the US is doing right now. Yeah, so okay, now coming back to the sanctions bill, Russia sanctions bill. So this is a bill that's been proposed by Lindsey Graham and whoever else. Yeah, I'm not sure who the names are. And the bill says it's not been passed in the US legislative process thus far. Donald Trump has greenlit the bill, which means that it will go to Congress or whatever. It will have to go and go in front of the Congress, and they'll have to vote on it. And if it passes, then first of all, the bill will apply 500% tariffs on Russia in case Russia is not cooperating in ending the Ukraine war or whatever, which is like it's a given, right? So it's going to apply 500% tariffs on Russia. It's going to impose all kinds of sanctions, further sanctions on Russia, and so on. So the objective is to devastate Russia and constrain Russia economically. Then the bill also has secondary sanctions which will be applied on nations that purchase Russian oil, because that obviously finances the Russian war machine, Russia's war on Ukraine. So nations like China, India, Brazil, etc., who purchase Russian oil, they're going to be hit with 500% tariffs. So for India, it will devastate India's trade relationship with the US because we don't have a trade deal thus far. If you have a trade deal, then that is exempt, right? But the trade deal hasn't happened. So it will be very bad for India-US relations. It will put India in a position where we have to choose this or that. We either choose to continue purchasing oil from Russia, and then our trade relationship with the US goes for a toss completely, utterly, or we stop buying Russian oil, which is we have fallen prey to the arm twisting. Then the Americans will progressively impose more demands on India. So this is the road to vassalage, the road to vassalhood status. That's what the Americans want for India. They want India to become an American vassal. Well, if you were the US, you would want that, obviously. Come on. About the trade deal. See, Lutnick has claimed that we had the trade deal all set up. All that was needed now was for Prime Minister Modi to pick up the phone and call Donald Trump. And Mr. Modi was not comfortable doing that. And that's why the trade deal hasn't happened. So Lutnick is putting all the blame on India. Do we know that he is speaking the truth? There is no guarantee. There's no assurance that he is speaking the truth. This could just be another pressure tactic. Lie on camera. The Trump regime is known for making all kinds of, fantastical claims. I have stopped 7 wars. I stopped Star Wars. Yeah. Star Wars was happening in a different galaxy. I stopped it. He's claiming that he stopped all kinds of wars and he's the most peaceful president. Peaceful, yeah. So, look, whatever they say, it doesn't mean it's really what happened. I imagine there was no trade deal that was finalized. And if there was a trade deal that was good for both countries, Prime Minister Modi would have done whatever it took, including calling Mr. Trump or whatever, to get the deal finalized and signed. The Americans are adopting a maximalist position in their negotiations with India. They are saying open your market completely. Open your market totally, the agriculture sector, the dairy sector. Let us dump our GMO, genetically modified products into India. So India will soon have all the health problems the Americans have, right? Open your market, 0% tariffs on American goods. So what happens if we do that? There are people in India who are complaining that the American tariffs, 50% that is there right now, it's really hurting Indian industries and businesses. Okay. For sure, it will be hurting Indian businesses. Imagine if we bend the knee. Imagine if India caves in and says, okay, America, we are opening our market to you. 0 tariff, dump whatever you want to dump into India. Then India becomes a big market, captive market for the US. Then the Americans dump all their goods into India, which will put all Indian businesses out of business. Then who's going to take care of those businesses? If Indian businesses are being hurt right now, imagine what happens if we open up the market. All Indian businesses and industries will close down, shut down. Because the Americans, they will dump their goods at the cheapest rates. Their goods, no question, apart from dairy, all that, apart from agriculture and dairy, the goods are high quality. And they'll price them such that they'll outcompete all the Indian manufacturers. India wants to become a manufacturing nation, right? This is going to be the death blow to that. So the Americans want to essentially vassalize India in multiple ways. Vassalize India by destroying India's manufacturing sector, by turning India into a captive market. Vassalize India through other means, by controlling all the oil that flows into India and forcing India to stop buying Russian oil. Vassalize India through other means. All kinds of means are there. By supporting Pakistan. Perhaps if Iran falls, then Pakistan, Iran combined will be against India. So that's the situation. India is going to face a lot of pressure going forward.